Hello. Once again, I welcome you back to my YouTube channel. This is the continuation of our Amazon S3 Mastery series. And in this video, we are going to be looking at Amazon S3 bucket replication. S3 bucket replication is an automated and asynchronous process that copies objects from one bucket to another, either in the same region or in the same account or in a different account, as the case may be. And it helps to ensure data durability, compliance, and global availability of data or object. It automatically copies new object and updated object from a source bucket to a destination bucket. So we are going to be having a source bucket where the object or the data originally resides, and we're going to have a destination object where the data is going to be copied. Replication can happen either cross-region, which we call CRR, cross-region replication, or it could be in the same region which we call SRR, same region replication. Objects that are copied into the bucket are not automatically replicated at the destination. And that's why we say it is asynchronous. So there's a little amount of time gap between when the object is replicated and when it is available in the destination bucket. Um, there are so many enterprise use cases for Amazon S3 replication. One is for disaster recovery or for regional, redundancy. It is good for compliance. It could be used for global performance, for cross-account isolation, and so many uses. You can decide. You can go ahead to just research and see how it can be applied. So in this video, we are just going to be looking at how you can carry out this process. Now, what are the basic concepts that we need to know? One, like I mentioned, you can do replication across region. You can do it in the same region. Bucket don't have to be in the same account. That's why we have cross-account replication as well. And also, there is a requirement for an IAM permission to allow replication to work. Also, we have few of some overview that you might want to know here. One, I say you can replicate objects from one bucket to another. Versioning must be enabled. Very important. Versioning must be enabled both on both bucket, both the source bucket and the destination bucket. I made a previous video on versioning. You might do well to watch it. Also, existing objects in the bucket are not automatically replicated. So if you have an object before replication is set up on a bucket, the object before replication will not be automatically copied to the destination unless if you enable it. We are going to see that. And also, once replication is turned on, every object that is uploaded after that will be automatically replicated. And there's something we call delete marker, which I also mentioned in my previous video. When an object is deleted from an S3 bucket, the object is merely hiding under a banner called delete marker. So that delete marker makes the object that was deleted not to be available. So for you to recover or restore that deleted object, all you need is to delete the delete marker. When you delete the delete marker, the object that was formerly deleted will be restored. So unless when it is intentionally set, delete marker are not automatically carried over or copied over to destination bucket. And finally, like I mentioned, S3 replication is an asynchronous process, and that means it does not automatically replicate immediately. There are going to be a little time, a few seconds or minutes for the object in the source bucket to be available in the destination bucket. And it is important to also mention that this is not a reversible process. So if you have configured replication from a bucket A into a destination bucket B. If you upload any object in bucket A, it will what? Be replicated in bucket B. But the same one is not applicable. If you upload an object in bucket B, it is not going to be what? It's not going to be replicated in bucket A unless if you set up replication on bucket B. So we need to have this in mind. So what we're going to do now is we are going to jump onto our AWS console and put this into demonstration. What we're going to be doing here is first we're going to create two buckets in the same region and see how we can demonstrate replication. And either in this video or in any other video, because I don't want this video to be too long, we're going to see how we can create cross-account replication. So in this video now, in this demonstration, we are going to be doing the same account and the same region replication. So the first thing I will do now is I'm going to create two buckets, a source bucket and a destination bucket. So I will click on create bucket. I will give it a name. Let me just give it a unique name, Felix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 source, which is the source bucket. It's a general purpose bucket. And I'm going to leave the configuration as default. One important thing you have to mention here is versioning. For replication to work, versioning is a requirement. You have to enable versioning both on the source bucket and on the destination bucket. So I'm going to enable versioning, and I'm going to go down and create the bucket. I'm going to leave the encryption as default. So I will click on create bucket. So the object has been created. The bucket has been created. So I will go ahead and create the second bucket, which is the destination bucket. I will also call that one Felix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 destination, which is the bucket destination. So I will leave the configuration as it is. Only enable versioning. I will enable versioning. I'll scroll down, leave the encryption as it is, and I will click on create bucket. Now I have two buckets, a source bucket and a destination bucket. So the next thing now is we want to upload object into the source bucket, and we want it to be replicated on the destination bucket. Now, I'm going to go ahead now and upload an object into the source bucket, just for a reason that I want to explain later. So I will open my source bucket. I will click on upload, and I will click on add file, and I will just put this file there, this PNG file. I will click open, and I will click upload. Now I have this up. If I close this and I go to this is my bucket, my source bucket now, I have this object in it. And if you go back to the destination bucket, you find that there's nothing in it because replication has not been set. So we'll head over back to our source bucket, and we're going to set up replication. So I'm going to click on the source bucket. I'm going to click on management, and I will scroll down to replication rule. You can see it here, replication rule, and I will click on create replication rule. Now, what name do I want to give my replication rule? I'll give it Felix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 replication. Okay. And I will leave the status as enable. Now, on the source bucket, what is the source bucket? That is the name of my source bucket. It's already identified here. And it's asking me, what is the scope of this replication? Do you want all the objects in the bucket to be replicated, or just a few of them? You can limit it to a few of them depending on how you want it. But in this case, I want it to be on all objects. And it's asking me the destination. Is the destination bucket in this account? Yes, it's in this account. So I'm going to leave it choose bucket in this account. And what is that what is that bucket name? I will click on browse, and this is my destination bucket name, and I will click on choose path. Now this is the destination, and this is the region where it is. Now I told you in the review that in the overview that we need an IAM role to ensure replication. So you can choose if you have, or if you have already created an IAM role, but in this case, I'll just go for create a new role. So replication will automatically create the role by itself. Now, I'm going to leave as encryption, and I'm going to leave data storage class. This is if you want to change the class of the object from either the life cycle, but we're going to talk about that in some other video. Now, one important thing or two more important thing I want to do here is one, I'm going to enable replication time control. This option allow your replication to occur faster. Okay, because if you look at the caption underneath, it says replication time control replicate 99.99% of object within 15 minutes. Means that whatever object you uploaded your bucket within 15 minutes, and 99% of them will be replicated. So I'm going to enable that, but you have to bear in mind that it comes with an extra charge. So if you enable this, you go to incur an extra cost on your S3 bucket. Now, look at these two delete marker replication. Now, I've explained what delete marker is. Whenever you delete an object in an S3 bucket, the delete marker is the banner that hides the delete object. So whenever you want to restore the deleted object, you have to delete the delete marker, then the object will be restored. So for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to what enable delete marker, and I will explain where it works. So I will explain this, and I will click on save. So now this takes us to another section, which is asking us that do we want to replicate objects that were already existing in the bucket? Remember, if I duplicate this now, okay, let me see if I can duplicate this. If I duplicate this page and I go to my S3 bucket, source S3 bucket, you can see that there's an existing object in that bucket. So what this is asking is that, do I want that object to be replicated? Because in by default, I mentioned that replication does not automatically copy existing object. So we need to ask here, do you want to copy it? Yeah, for the purpose of this demonstration, I will say yes. If I say no, then the configuration will stop here. But if I select yes, it's going to take us a step further. And if I click on submit, it's going to take us to what we call batch operation. So AWS replication uses batch operation to replicate existing objects. So AWS S3 replication uses what we call batch operation job to replicate existing objects. So we need to set up this, and it's asking us, do we want it to be all generate a completion report? Yes. I want it to generate a report. That is, after the batch job is completed, I want a report of the job, of the process. And do you want the report to be on all the objects in it? I said yes. So I take all tags. Is it in this account? Yes. I want the report to be in this account. You can create a separate bucket for the report if you like, but in this case, I will just select. I want my report to be inside the original source bucket. So I will come here and click on browse, and I will select the source object. This is the source bucket, and I'll click on choose path. But I don't want it to just be in the source object. I want it to be in a folder inside the source object, and that folder is called report. I want that folder to be called report. Now, so when this is created now, it's going to create a file called report, and inside it is going to keep the batch operation job report. Now, also here, I need an IAM permission policy or role, and I'm just going to select create a new rule, and I'm going to click on save. So when this is saved, then the batch operation will be created, and that batch operation will begin its work. And you should know what batch operation does is to what is to replicate the existing object. So if this is my batch operation, this one that says new. So if I click on it now, if I click on this, okay, let me just view detail from here. You will see it. This is the IAM role that was created for that batch operation. We are going to look into that. And you can see the status of the operation now is in the ready state, and it's still 0% complete. So this will continue to, this will continue to work until when 100% is completed. When 100% is completed, then the job will be copied over. So let's hang on a few seconds. When it is completed, we will first confirm that our existing object has been copied over. So I'm going to pause the video and come back when that is completed. Okay, so just after about 40 seconds, you can see the status is changing to completing, but it's not completely completed. It's still completing, and you can see total success. One object has been replicated 100%, and if I refresh again, maybe it will change to completed. It's still completing, and it's saying 100%. So that means it takes what? It takes about 1 minute 2 seconds for the batch operation to complete copying and the existing object into the bucket. Let me quickly also refresh. I want to see it as completed. If not, we'll just go ahead and check. Now you can see it has turned to completed. So let's head over to our Amazon S3 now. And I'll just come here. I'll click on S3 general purpose. Now, if I go to my destination object, my destination bucket, you can see the object has been copied over. Okay, you can see now, and a report has been created. And inside that report, you can see this is the report of the batch operation. We are not going to be going into all of that. Now, let's just head back to our S3 bucket. Let's go to our source bucket now, and let us see how we can upload. Now, let's go ahead and upload another object. Now, click on upload, click on add file, and I've just select this object, manifest and replica. And okay, this one is already there. So let me just take this and this, and I'll upload it. So I want to upload these two objects now. I will click on upload. Now inside my source bucket, you can see now I now have in the source bucket, I now have two more objects added. This one and this one. Now let us go to our destination bucket and see if the object has been replicated. So this is my destination bucket. I'll click on destination bucket, and you can see within a few seconds, the object has been replicated. Now, when versioning is enabled, don't forget that we enabled versioning when we were creating our replication. So I'm going to go over to my source bucket now, and I'm going to delete one object. So I'm going to delete this one that says manifest.json. Don't forget, if I check the version, you can see there's version number here, meaning that each of these has a version created for them. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to delete, and I'm going to click on, sorry, let me just go back. So, okay, I'll click on here, I'll click on delete, and I'll type delete, and I'll click on delete object. Now, this object has been deleted. You can see I no longer have it. Now, let us now go back to our destination bucket. Now, let us check if the object will be deleted. You can see too, the object is also gone. You can see the object is also gone. Oh, sorry, it's still here. Let me refresh and see. Okay, you can see the object is also gone here. So now the object that has been deleted in the source bucket has also been deleted in the destination bucket. But now let's see. I told you that when object is deleted, it is under a default delete marker. So if I come here now and I click on show version, you can see now that this object that is deleted, you can see this small sign here is saying that it's underneath this. You can see this is the delete marker. So this delete marker is hiding this file. That is why when we click on show version, when we hold the show version, you can't see the object. So for you to restore that object, all you need to do is to come back here and remove this delete marker. So when I remove this delete marker, the object will be restored back to the bucket. But you will see that if I saw it back in the destination, it's not going to be reflected in the source bucket, because S3 replication is asynchronous. It does not go in the reverse because we have not set replication on the destination bucket. So I'll go ahead now, I'll show version, and I will delete this delete marker and I will type permanently delete. I will copy, I'll paste, and I will delete it. So if I delete it now, if I go back to my destination, you can see now that the object manifest version has been restored. But if I head back to my source bucket, let's refresh. You see, the object is nowhere to be found. So what I'm just saying is the S3 replication is not reversible. You can't do it in the reverse. It can only go from the source where replication is configured onto where the destination where the object is to be copied over. So this is what I intend to show you in this. Yeah, one thing that is important to mention is you can check the status of each object replication. You can check the replication status because sometimes you can have thousands or hundreds of objects and they may not be replicated at the same time. But for each object, you can check the status of the replication. And all you need to do is to click on the object, go scroll down to the bottom, go under management configuration, and you will see if the application is completed or not. And in this case, it is completed. And you can know those that are pending and those that are completed. In the next video, we are going to look at how we can replicate objects in two different AWS accounts. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, if you do, kindly like and comment, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.